Good morning. It is 10:10 a.m. on Sunday, June 6th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Um, so I slept in. Felt pretty good. It was very sweet when I finally dragged myself out of bed and Rocket had been asleep right next to the bed. And I kind of made my way halfway across the room before I realized I was still not quite awake enough yet, and I sat down. And then Rocket got up from his spot right next to the bed and padded his way 5 feet across the room over to where I was, and then lay down again with his head on my foot. It was very nice. He's a very good boy. I had other things I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, by the way, also this is what happens to my hair when I wash it and then let it dry without putting anything in it. So yesterday we had a fun session of Dungeons and Dragons with the So Many Levels Rime of the Frost Maiden episode, and there was a big story development midway through, but there was also before that an encounter that was paced about as well as I could have expected, which was, driven by character action, and then of course an encounter where the party decided that discretion was the better part of valor, and and then ran away, and because in my experience, it's actually relatively rare that you'll have a party willing to just run away because, people don't want to. They want to be the heroes, and so there can be a tendency. It's actually hard to run away in Dungeons and Dragons because the problem is the turn-based nature of it means that in order to run away, people have to run away sort of in sequence, but it makes it feel and appear that you are leaving your friends behind in a way that can feel like, well, gosh, if, 5 of the 6 of us have all had our turn and then we use it to run far away from where the fighting is, but then the enemy gets its turn and there's just one of our friends there left behind and it grabs them, what are we going to do? Like that sort of thing. The mechanics of D&D just don't actually make retreating work very well. It's hard to do. But it worked out in this case. And it was I think, suitably fun and scary encounter that made use of the terrain and all that. It was good stuff. I also, yesterday, here is a coincidence which was very striking to me, but means very little unless you have an appreciation of 2 significant fandoms. But for unrelated reasons, I had recently rewatched Notorious, the Hitchcock movie, and I'm also rewatching the Clone Wars TV show. Now, Notorious we're rewatching because for watching 100 movies, we decided let's talk about movies that maybe could have been on the list but weren't, in place. So, like, there's lots of Hitchcock movies on the list, but my favorite Hitchcock movie was not on the list. And so, Notorious is my favorite Hitchcock movie. And so, we're going to talk about that. And so, that's why I was watching it. And so, I watched that on Saturday night. Now, I'm rewatching the Clone Wars, partly because I like it, but also because there's a podcast called A More Civilized Age that's gradually watching through the series and talking about it. And I really enjoy that podcast. And so, I've been rewatching the show along with them. So, after watching Notorious on Saturday night, I watched the next episode in the sequence for Clone Wars on Sunday, or excuse me, Friday night and then Saturday, because today's Sunday, obviously. So, I watched the next episode in the sequence, which happened to be a season 2 episode called Senate Spy. And here's the coincidence. Senate Spy is a Notorious homage. And I don't just mean that the plot is similar. I mean, it is obviously a purposeful and intended homage with matching shots and similar music cues and everything, which was kind of just amazing because, like, I hadn't planned it or even remembered that that was the case. And so it was really funny. Anyway, that's definitely one of those things where for everyone else is going to like, yeah, I guess that was a coincidence. I'm not sure how funny it was. Anyway, I guess I'll leave it there for now. And I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.